How are you guys doing? It is Wednesday, November 25th, 2020. Out here in this quarantine, I'm James Sims. And for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to take you through yesterday's Champions League matchups as some teams have already clinched the knockout stage of the table. And of course, I'll let you know what's going on tomorrow because we're at that stage of the week where we're not picking up on the NFL until Thursday. Basketball doesn't start until mid-December. So all that I got right now for you is Champions League. But of course, taking you by group, yesterday were matchups between groups E, F, G, and H. Starting with Group E because those are the first games that played. Starting off, Chelsea was able to beat Stade Rennes 2-1 off of a goal from Callum Hudson-Odoi. Guirassy would end up tying it for Stade Rennes, and then Olivier Giroud would end up putting Chelsea above and beyond Stade Rennes. And with this win, they have 10 points in the table, which is 9 more than Krasnodar and Stade Rennes, which means they qualify they qualify for knockout stages. And right alongside of them, Sevilla FC with their 2-1 win over Krasnodar, especially with their big winner in the 5th minute of extra time from El Haddadi. Ivan Rakitic with the 4th minute goal to start it off. They were able to win 2-1 over Krasnodar. And with both of these wins, Sevilla and Chelsea both have 10 points. Krasnodar and Stade Rennes have 9 less points than both these two teams with 2 remaining games left, which means there's no way they can catch them. And because they were the first 2 games, Sevilla and Chelsea were the first 2 teams of the 16 that will eventually clinch the next round or the knockout stages of the Champions League. Moving to the Group F stages, Borussia Dortmund was able to beat Club Brugge 3-0. Erling Braut Haaland, their elite striker from Norway, was able to get 2 goals, and Jadon Sancho, their elite young winger from England, was able to score in the 45th minute. Big win for Borussia Dortmund as they now lead their table, and continuing on and staying within the table, Lazio was able to beat Zenit St. Petersburg 3-1. Ciro Immobile, Parola would score in the first 25 minutes, and Zuba would score for St. Petersburg, making it 2-1 in favor of Lazio, and then Immobile's penalty in the 55th minute would put Lazio up 3-1 over Zenit St. Petersburg. Looking out to how Group F fares, Borussia Dortmund is sitting at the top of the table with 9 points as they have 3 wins and a loss so far. Lazio is second. They have 8 points with 2 wins and 2 draws so far. In third, you have Club Brugge as they have won a game and they've drew 1, so they're sitting at 4 points, and Zenit St. Petersburg is number 1 at the very bottom. Zenit St. Petersburg is technically out of the running, but Club Brugge mathematically can still overtake Borussia Dortmund at the very top, so none of the teams in Group F have officially clinched the knockout stage yet, but Borussia Dortmund and Lazio look as though they're 1 game away from doing so. 1 win away from doing so. In Group G, I'm taking through that one, starting off real quick. The team that's at the very top, Barcelona, was able to beat Dynamo Kiev 4-0. Serginho Dest, the fullback from America, was able to score the first goal. Then Braithwaite was able to score 2 goals in the second half as well. One of them being a penalty kick, and Griezmann's goal in extra time would put the nail in the coffin. Big win for Barcelona as Barcelona remains undefeated in their table. In the 4 matches they've played, they've won all 4 of them. And looking at how the Juventus fared, they ended up being Ferencváros on yet another final minute game winner clincher from Morata. Cristiano Ronaldo would also score in the 35th minute. Their goated winger, as the Italian champs were able to overtake the Hungarian champs and grab a much needed win. Looking at how Group G stands, with Barcelona's win, they now sit at 12 points in the table, as opposed to Dynamo Kiev and Ferencváros is 1 point so far with the 2 games left to play. Barcelona has officially clinched a spot in the next round, and Juventus, with 9 points in the table compared to Dynamo Kiev and Ferencváros, is 1. Mathematically, Kiev and Ferencváros cannot catch Juventus, so Barcelona and Juventus will make it on. Will advance to the Champions League knockout stages as Dynamo Kiev and Ferencváros get relegated to the Europa League. And last but not least, jumping into Group H, starting off with the team that's leading this table so far, Manchester United. In yesterday's game, they were able to take on Istanbul Başakşehir. Bruno Fernandes would score 2 goals in the first 20 minutes. Marcus Rashford would have a penalty. And following Turuk's goal from Istanbul Başakşehir, James would score a goal in the 2 minutes into regular time at the very end. And Manchester United got a much-needed 4-1 win over Istanbul Başakşehir, which helps them move 6 points ahead of Başakşehir in the table. And taking it to the other two teams, going into this game, RB Leipzig was ahead of PSG because RB Leipzig beat PSG the first time. And in yesterday's game, it would only be a penalty kick from Neymar that would be enough to give PSG the 3 points needed in the table. And looking at how all these teams stand, Manchester United is still sitting number 1 in Group H with 9 points total. They're only 3 points ahead of third place. In second place, you have PSG and RB Leipzig both tied with 6 points. PSG's goal differential is +1, but RB Leipzig's is -3, so PSG has a 4-goal advantage over RB Leipzig. And then sitting at the bottom is Istanbul Başakşehir with 3 points in the table, but mathematically they can still catch up to Manchester United in their last place. With that said, that is how the Champions League is looking following yesterday's fourth game day of matches for all teams in Groups E, F, G, and H. And looking out to today's matchup, starting with Group A, Bayern Munich is going to take on FC Salzburg at 3 o'clock. Of course, Bayern is perfect in their table, which means they beat FC Salzburg the last time they played. Also, Atletico Madrid is going to take on Lokomotiv Moscow at 3 o'clock. Atletico Madrid currently sits second in the table behind Bayern with only 4 points through 3 matches played. Bayern Munich, going back to their game, if Bayern Munich wins this game, they will clinch a spot in the Champions League before they even play their next 2 games. And they could very well clinch the number 1 spot in this group because they're 5 points ahead of Atletico Madrid. And if Atletico Madrid either loses or draws and Bayern Munich is able to pull out the win, Bayern Munich could pull out the best spot. They could end up with the best record in this table. Jumping down to Group B, Borussia Mönchengladbach is going to take on Shakhtar Donetsk at 12:55. And right now, Borussia Mönchengladbach is leading that table with 5 points, and Shakhtar Donetsk is leading it is second place with 4. Sitting in third, you're going to have Real Madrid take on 4th place Internazionale Milan. Inter Milan at 3 o'clock. That's going to be a very big matchup as these two teams were the 2 favorites to win this group, and right now they're sitting at the bottom with 3 games left to play each. And as of right now, it's looking as though Inter's might not advance, but Inter could very well do so if they were to beat Real Madrid today. Jumping on to Group C, Manchester City is going to take on Olympiacos at 12:55. Manchester City, just like Bayern Munich and Barcelona up until now, are perfect. They have won all of their games in Champions League so far. Olympiacos has 1 win and 2 losses. They have 3 points in the table. And then also FC Porto is going to take on Marseille at 3 o'clock. Porto is sitting second behind Manchester City with 6 points as their only loss came against Man City. Marseille they have not won a game yet in this table. As of right now, Manchester City mathematically, Marseille can still catch Manchester City, but a win for Manchester City would do enough to eliminate Marseille. It would probably eliminate Marseille. Porto's win could definitely eliminate Marseille, but that's how Group C is looking. We're only halfway through the table. Last but not least, jumping into Group D, the leaders of that group, Liverpool, are going to take on Atalanta at 3 o'clock. Liverpool sits at the top of this table with 9 points in 3 matches, which means they won all 3 of their matches. Atalanta has 1 win, 1 draw, and 1 loss, which is good enough for 4 points in the table. They're sitting at third. They have one less goal scored than Ajax. And speaking of Ajax, sitting in second place, Ajax is going to take on FC Midtjylland. As they will go on, as the Danish champs are currently sitting at the very bottom of they're sitting at the bottom of the table. Liverpool has a chance of at least advancing past FC Midtjylland, as they're going to have to play a couple more games in order to clinch that top spot in the league. And because Ajax Amsterdam and Atalanta have the same amount of points, we could very well see, a big win here could possibly eliminate Atalanta and put Liverpool on into the next round. But with that said, that's what Champions League is looking like right now. It is Wednesday, November 25th, 2020 out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims, and I hope all is well. And then I will catch you tomorrow, following this second half of Week 4 Champions League group matches. But with that said, I want to thank you once again for listening to my piece. Peace out.